Working on a 2009 Chevy Cobalt, and today I'm going to be replacing the front brake pads, and I'm using the Duralast Gold ceramic brake pads. Got a couple cans of brake clean. I'm using my Craftsman 25-piece socket set, which is the one I always carry with me in my car. It has both standard and metric. Really good all around, easy to carry socket set. And then I need my Craftsman brake spreader. Let me jack this car up and knock this out. I'm going to zip off the tire, pull off the caliper, replace the pads, use my jack stand, and knock this out. The current mileage on the vehicle is 159,815 miles. This car I previously rebuilt. It had front end damage. Completely went through it, rebuilt the front end, and now a young man owns this car, and he's been daily driving it for the past few years. I still have my 1971 Dodge Charger project I'm working on. A little bit harder to get parts for this car, so it's been a slower process than I really would have anticipated. But I have, I'm getting new tires for it. Have the brake master cylinder on order, and I'm going to drain the fuel tank and take care of this as well. All right, let me get started on this brake job. I'm going to crack the lug nuts loose, and it takes a 19 millimeter. I always like throwing the tire underneath the car just for a little added safety. Remove the two 13 millimeter bolts that hold in the caliper to the slider pins. I love working on Chevy Cobalts. These things are so well made and such easy cars to work on. Set these aside. I usually like setting them aside in the top of my little socket set. Just put them in the top part just so you don't misplace them. Slide this off. Still a lot of meat on these. The other side got down to the wear sensors, so it's definitely time to replace them. But these ones look good. That's why I believe these rotors don't need to be replaced at this time. But definitely look at the condition of your own rotors, if they need to be replaced or not. And I'm using the old brake pad to push against the caliper piston. You want to make sure that the caliper boot doesn't get bound up. Get a hanger to hang this to the shock tower. Then I'm going to replace the hardware with new hardware. It's one of the things about the Duralast Gold. You buy a quality brake pad kit, and they always come with new hardware. Now spray down the entire area with brake clean before I add the brake lube. Check the condition of the slide pins, re-grease them if necessary. And then I'm using the Duralast Gold ceramic brake pads. And in here, there is a specific braking procedure for new brake pads. All right, I'm going to put on the brake pad wear sensor, and there's a little indentation where these go. And it just slips on, and when the brake pads wear down, it gets down to this little piece of metal, and it makes an awful squeaky noise. And it does that in order to let you know your brake pads need to be replaced. I like putting a little bit of grease, brake lube. Just right on the ends. Anywhere where there's contact between metal and metal, I like putting a little dab of brake lube on, but you don't want to get any brake lube on the friction material. Read all warnings from the manufacturer of the brake pads and the car company. And then I put a little bit on the back side. Where it contacts the piston of the caliper. Slide that in the bottom first, and then in the top one. Another thing to keep the rotor from moving when you're installing the brake pads, you can put a lug nut in there, and that just holds it tight so it doesn't wiggle around. And you only need one wear sensor per side, so this one's on the driver's side. I'll do another one on the passenger side. And make sure you keep the friction material that touches the rotor absolutely clean with no grease, no debris. Just hair on the ears. And then a little bit on the back. Be sure to re-grease your slide pins. Now, right after you do the brake job, you want to start the vehicle and push down on the brake pedal a few times until you build brake pressure, because after doing the brake job and pushing the cylinder back in, your brakes are not going to work the first time you push them in, so you want to pump your brakes before you start moving. Torque it down to factory specifications. Okay, now I'm going to remove the lug nut. Give it a good spray with some brake clean. I like to really make sure that it's completely sprayed off and clean. Put the tire back on. So I'm just going to snug down the tires until I get it lowered to the ground a little bit, and then I'll torque it down to factory specifications. So right now when I'm tightening it, it's putting all the pressure on the transmission. Jack up the car, remove the jack stand. When I lower the car, I don't want it all the way completely on the ground, but I definitely want it touching so the tire's not going to spin. There we go. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing on the driver's side. Pretty much the exact same way. And then, before you take the car for a drive, start the car and push down on the brake pedal a few times. You'll see how far down it goes to the ground. See, it goes all the way to the ground. There's no brake pressure. And do that a couple times, it should build up decent brake pressure. And then follow the break-in procedure for the new brake pads. And that usually involves driving down the road at a certain speed and stopping a certain way. So definitely make sure you follow all those break-in procedures. And that is doing a front brake job on a 2009 Chevy Cobalt. We're trying to hit 1 million subscribers, so if you like this content, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.